Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of the Gym Guys podcast. I am Coach By Rory, and you are?
I'll go by the name of Steph,
AKA?
PUMPVISION.
How you been?
I've been good, you know, chilling, working legs, so I'm a bit gassed, I'm not gonna lie. It's my whole vibe now, leg day.
I shouldn't laugh.
See, this is a problem with the fitness industry.
I shouldn't laugh.
Guys putting guys down.
I'm not putting you down. I'm not putting you down at all. I just laughed. Your insecurities started to shine because you thought I was laughing at you. I just saw it came back to me earlier in the day. It was funny.
Go on, fill me in.
It's not for camera.
Oh, okay.
It is what it is.
All right then, well, today I wanted to unpack something that is, it's not a sensitive topic in the gym, but it's a common topic, and that is ego lifting. Now, when it comes to ego lifting, it's kind of like taboo. Like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? If I was to put that question to you, would you say ego lifting is good or bad, and why?
It depends on what you're trying to achieve. So if your ego lift, if you know in that set you're gonna have to ego lift to build the confidence to lift that weight, that certain number, then cool. You can let the form go a little just to say you can get it up and then you work backwards. I get it. I don't really agree with it, but I get it. We've all done it because you always end up putting a weight on you're not sure you should do or try, but you try it and the form's out the window. That technically is an ego lift, but if you go and do it again, that is the real ego lift because that's your ego lifting that.
Yeah.
If you do it by accident, then it is what it is. But it's a common theme in gyms. It's a male theme as well.
That's what I was thinking. I'm more along the lines of like, you're lifting weights different to what you normally lift because certain people are around or because someone said, oh, lift this way.
Yeah.
Like that.
I would say it's more fragile egos. It's not even like good egos. It's like proper fragile, weak people do that. Like, you know full well you have no business touching whatever weight it is, but yet you find yourself in that mix, looking to say what to the person that, I did the weight and the set of reps or whatever it is what I needed to do, but your back's finished, your wrists are done. Yeah. Every joint you've got is like the bone to bone is just grating against each other, and then you're wondering why you're walking like some fool.
True. I was thinking I've done that. Bare times.
Everyone's done it, but you live and you learn.
Yeah.
If you don't learn, then you're a fool.
Okay, my thing is, so I've ego lifted, example, bench press. I see, let's say you, Brady, a couple other people benching, let's say 130, and I come over.
Disclaimer: Brady won't do 130. I was doing 130.
Oh shit! Alright, but
we're gonna talk about that one in a bit.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that one counts.
No, it counts. It counts because I said that same word and I got it.
Was it that one?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm not F-worded yet. I only S-worded.
I thought it was that.
Nah, I S-worded and that got you. Now that's cool. One for the records. But yeah, move, go.
I was gonna say, if I come over and I think, let me try and lift this 130 today with these guys. The way I am, I wouldn't try and lift it if I don't know I can lift it.
So that was my question. That was gonna be my question. You see us doing that? Yeah. Are you just walking over blindly, never touch 130? And go, yeah, I'm going to do that because you lot are doing that.
Never. I would never do that.
So you would have had to have done that number before.
Yeah, would have to.
Then to me, that's not an ego lift.
Okay.
That's you.
But I'm not lifting like that in my training.
Right,
I'm only lifting that because you guys are lifting.
So then that's two types of ego lifting. Then. Yeah. There's you're doing it because you want to be part of what's going on.
Yeah.
To show people. That ego part is me.
Yeah.
But I call that competitiveness. I don't pack that as ego lifting. I only put ego lifting as you're doing stuff to get it up, or whatever lift it is, movement it is, in a shoddy way, just to say you've done it. That's to me is ego lifting. Yeah. But what you're talking about, I would put more down the competitive route.
Okay.
So I see you do the 100 kg and you did more reps than me. right, my ego is saying, cool. Like I'm humble enough to say, right, you lifted more than me, cool, and you done more reps than me. But the competitiveness in me, which is driven by ego, but it's not. But it's not the same ego that fuels getting the shoddy rep up.
It's like smart ego versus. Well, this is what I was gonna get onto. Like, I guess if you're aware, everyone's got ego, but if you're aware of your ego, you can use that to fuel your training.
Yeah, 100%.
You could use it as fuel rather than in a stupid way. It's gonna mess you up. Try not to swear.
But then if you're, please swear, your forfeits are going to be crazy. If you are, all right, so let's put them together.
Go on.
You see me and we're doing hip thrusts.
Yeah.
I'm doing 200 kg, whatever it is. But you know at 180 is your limit. And that's when you was really training legs. You ain't been doing, that's not part of your program right now. You come over and we're at, I'm road to 200. So I've said, I'm just building up to 200. You jump in at 160.
Yeah.
You're good at 160 because you know you've done it previously, but you haven't done it in a while. 160 goes up fine. Mm-hmm. Are you continuing? So which part of the ego now kicks in?
So I'm gonna continue. If I'm joining in, I'm gonna finish the session with you, doing what you're doing, not lifting what you're lifting,
So
but
just doing
doing
the
what
movement.
you're doing. And I'm gonna go up in increments that I think is safe.
So what?
I'm gonna try and PB.
So all right. So say
basically.
there's 4 of us. There's 4 of us training, and we say no, we're going up in 10s or 20s.
I'm not doing it.
Your ego is telling you you're not doing it. You got to walk away from the group session, or you're going to sit there and get cold.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it up to the. So I'm gonna quickly do a calculation in my head and know when
I feel
the limit is.
when this gets edited to just put bare numbers around your head.
Just do it, because that's really going on in my head. Like really, like that's whole scenario. If you did that, I would. Let's say if you're going up to 200, you said, Steph, I'm going up to 200. I would come in and I'll be like, cool. I did 160. If you said we have to go up in 10s, then I would have thought, okay, I can probably go up to 170, 180. I would have already had that conclusion in my head. So I'm not even going to make it from 180 to 200. And at that point, I'll just start doing my own.
Okay, so
like
then
upping it by 2 or 4 or 5. Or
okay, so then you go start doing it on your own, and then we're going, nah, Steph, like come do the reps. We think you can do it. You're not even going to attempt it.
No, but I would know from the last set.
All right, you do the 180, you get 2 reps in. Are you going to attempt 190?
It depends. It depends how much doubt is in my head.
All right, we're gassing
all
you up
depends.
and we're saying you can do this, blah, blah, blah. Are you going to attempt the 190? Whether you get it up or not, are you going to attempt it?
Attempt it.
Yeah.
Probably. If the 180
That's your
was.
ego lift.
It depends how the 180
The
went
180
up.
went up for 2 reps.
Yeah, I'm doing 190.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try.
All right. So the 190 doesn't go up, and you're like, I felt like I could do it, but it just didn't fight. I need a couple minutes. We're now on 200.
Oh no, I can't try 200 if I failed on 190. I got to complete that.
But what if we're there?
Then I'm dropping 10 off.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know.
I'm dropping 10 off
Because I know
hit
certain
190.
people aren't dropping it off, and they're still trying.
That's so dumb.
But
you couldn't live
but
190.
It's so dumb, but that's ego lifting.
Oh my
it's
God.
the process of it is so dumb.
Yeah, it's mad.
So if we put it into right, so I've been in gyms,
Yeah.
present gym included, where there's groups of males training together, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s. Like, guys, please stop training in 5s. You're not optimizing your training. You way too much rest, way too much chat. It's not a good look on your behalf. You don't look any better.
No.
And you're not gaining anything from it. So 2s, 3s out of push, but you got to have set rest rules.
Yeah.
But I've seen too many guys on their phones chatting about this, chatting about that. Oh, we've got a set, and then everyone's waiting for a squat rack. Especially if your gym is limited for squat racks, stop doing that. Just get all your sets done and chat afterwards.
This happened to me yesterday.
So what I was saying, so I've seen a lot of. I've been in that scenario where I might not be the strongest in the group, or I might be the strongest in the group. For those 2 people, it's different training.
Yeah.
The weakest in the group gains the most.
Always.
The strongest in the group, it's just a laboured session. You're waiting around when you could be progressing.
It depends. What if your strongest mindset, you're pushing harder to show how big the gap in strength is?
All right, it depends. I do that, but that's my competitiveness.
Yeah,
but that's if I view you as a competitor.
Oh yeah, true.
If I don't view you as a competitor, I'm not competing with you in any way, shape or form. And I'm big on this compete with yourself stuff, but you can only compete with yourself when you know what the competition is.
Yeah.
Because you could stop, if we just talk about a squat, you could think the competition stops at 100 kg and you get to 100 kg and you stay there because you're on this, I compete with myself.
Yeah.
But over there, or not even over there, at 12 o'clock when the other members are coming in, when you're only coming in at 6 p.m, they're doing 140. But you don't see them, but the competition is doing 140. You don't know what the competition is. So sometimes you have to benchmark yourself off of other people and then compete with yourself. So that 100 is to compete with yourself to turn that to 140. So that 40 kg difference is you competing with yourself. So you go, I'm going to do 10 kg for the next 2 weeks, 20 kg for the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then 4 weeks, and so be it till you get to 140. Then you reevaluate the competition.
It's true.
But
I'll never benchmark myself against anyone.
Why?
I just think it's just such a skewed. There's no way it can make any sense. I don't know anything you do in your personal. All the factors that affect your training, I don't know.
Okay, so there's too many variables, basically.
Too many variables.
But that's with anyone, with anything.
Do something and be like, yeah, I'm gonna try and do what he did, or I'm stronger than that guy. I should have done more than this guy. I don't know what this guy's doing. This guy could be a builder, like lifting bricks every day.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't base your whole thing around them, but you can go. You can go. All right, hypothetically, you can go. You weigh 78, 79 kilograms. I weigh 96, 97. Cool. We are similar heights. Okay. I'm a bit wider or denser. You're more athletic. Who should be lifting more based on those generic stats you have? That's all you can go off of. No one has the same amount of sleep. No one goes to bed at the same time. No one consumes the same amount of food. No one consumes the same food.
And everyone's beliefs are different, so then you might not even think you can.
You train how you feel.
Yeah.
I train with numbers.
Yeah.
So the training system is different.
I used to train
don't do that. You train how you feel. Own your. Ooh, I was close to saying it. Own your stuff. Own your stuff. Own your stuff.
I'm saying I trained with numbers until I understood my body better.
So now I don't understand my body. So now I don't understand my body.
No, the numbers help me understand my body.
So I don't use feeling, so I don't understand my body. Is that what you're saying?
I can't speak for you.
Okay. Why not?
Because I don't know why you train. I don't know why you train with numbers or why you don't train.
Because I'm a maths man.
Okay.
I love numbers, so it's just how I quantify.
That's how I learned about targets. Like you can't really make a target if you don't have numbers.
Or
in my opinion.
Dates, ranges, whatever you need. There's always going to be a number to it. No matter what even with feeling, you're going to feel that at rep 10, 11, 12, I fatigued, but I pushed through for rep 13.
That's why I went to feeling, because of the numbers was.
Yes, we're two. You swore. Don't try it.
Bro.
I'm out for the form. I've been hit twice. I'm come. There's no debate. I heard it.
I didn't finish it.
Okay.
I didn't even finish it.
Okay. The numbers are. Finish your word. Yeah. The numbers were. You said FU. The numbers were what?
Oh, the numbers were messing.
But you didn't say messing. You said the word was F.
The word I was about to say.
Yeah, was the word that you said.
I corrected myself.
Okay. Cool.
Like they were messing with my ability to push past a plateau. So like the numbers would make me start to feel fatigued.
So
Thinking that's nearly over.
Yeah. So I've had this problem with people because then I say to them, "How many reps are you doing?" 10. Why are you doing 10? Why is this generic rule of thumb? You do 10 reps. They can never answer. There's never an answer. No one knows why you do 10 reps.
We know.
Yeah, but they don't know. So why are you doing it? So 10 reps. So you get to 8, you start getting tired. I'm doing 12 reps now, but I'm literally, in terms of the weights I was doing for strength, I'm borderline the same kind of numbers.
Okay.
So dumbbell at the minute, for a flat press, I'm at 46 for 12 reps.
And that's what you was doing similar.
I was doing 50.
Strength.
I was doing 50 strength because dumbbells only got up to 50.
How many reps was you trying to do?
6 to 8.
Okay.
So, but reps 6, 7, 8, I struggle. On 46, reps 10, 11, 12 are now a struggle. But in terms of getting it up, 46, 48, 50 are the same weight to me.
So wait, let me just quick. So you did
It's 4 kg,
46
it's 4
for 12.
kg lighter, 46 for 12.
And
And
6 to 8.
56, but that's because my strength program is 6 to 8, and there's no dumbbell higher than 50.
Yeah, that's true.
I could do higher than 50.
I was thinking you could definitely do higher than 50 for your strength. But I'm thinking you could do 50 for your hypertrophy.
I could do 50. I could, and I know I'm going to. As the weeks go by, I will definitely will, because I can do 100 kg on the bench quite comfortably. So it's just picking. So now on my program, it doesn't say 12 reps. It says 12 plus.
Okay.
So there's no end.
This is a minimum.
Yeah, it's just there's no end. So
That's a better way.
and that's just the mindset of changing the mindset of how many reps you do based on what you're limiting yourself to. If you know your maximum is meant to be 12 or 10 to 12 or 10, you're only going to stop there. But what? So if you do an extra rep, is your muscles just going to deplete and fall off? No, you'll gain more. You'll gain more from it if you have the adequate rest to follow.
Yeah.
But
Even with the rep range thing, sorry, with the number of reps, I changed it before I got to feeling. I went from reps to time, then to feeling. So like, I changed my hypertrophy
to what? 2-minute
12
benches
reps to 1 minute.
of reps.
Yeah. 1 minute of reps, and obviously because I've got like a Fitbit, it just vibrates when I'm supposed
I
to.
thought you meant something completely different when you just.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know what you was doing.
I don't know what you want.
I thought it was looking like very weak wrists. Very weak wrists.
Yeah, to be fair, the timing thing made it so much harder, because you're lifting the same weight for 10 to 12. But what you realise is guys do their 10 to 12 reps quickly.
Because they're not feeling through the exercise.
Yeah.
Not feeling the exercise, or not feeling through it, but they're not feeling every rep coming down. So I was in the gym earlier, guy was pressing next to me, bench pressing next to me, dumbbell pressing next to me, and so every rep I was doing, he was knocking out nearly 3. Douche, 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 but not even hitting full range. So I'm coming down, opening up, pushing back, and I could see him in the corner of my eye, just whipping it out. And I was in my head, I was thinking, why?
That's the question.
I didn't want to ask him because I didn't care that much. But when I'm in the gym, I observe everything. I see everything. I'm curious as to what people are doing and why they're doing it, but without wanting to really know why. I just want to draw my own conclusion and then leave.
That's bro. Loads of times I see guys doing, I won't say wrong things, but things that look wrong, and it usually is wrong.
I know. I'm just gonna say it outright. Some guys, you're doing some things wrong, like
Yeah.
black and white wrong.
Because I'm thinking like when I was on the circuit of floor walking, trying to get clients, oftentimes I wouldn't go correct someone. I'd ask them, what are you doing?
Just to figure out if there's a reason before coming across as the person that knows it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could just tell me a reason, and it would make sense to me. I'd be like,
Oh yeah, you're deadlifting like this because you've got lordosis or kyphosis. That and I'm like, all right, cool. Can't argue that now. We move.
Exactly.
But
I was going to give a quick example of what happened to me yesterday. This is why I wanted to talk about ego. There's too many guys in the gym spotting squats and deadlifts in some weird ways.
spotting deadlifts.
Bro, it's mad. Like, right here where we stand, there is
See,
a group of guys that basically hold each other around the waist and lift each other out of a deadlift.
so they're whining with each other.
100%.
Deadlift platform looking like carnival.
Oh, it's nuts. It's like the weights literally defeated you, so you're both lifting. That defeats the whole point.
The spotter is doing a Heimlich.
Yeah, literally. And in the squat, the same thing.
The
squat bar is pushing man's chest down to his...
Okay, so the squat I get. That type of spot. I get you being behind, but I wouldn't be behind hugging. I'd be behind cupping the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like my arms would be underneath the armpit, keeping... basically full Nelson, but without locking my hands on the bar, just to keep your chest up. And my hands would be literally flat on your chest as a male, holding you up. If you're a woman, my hands are like so, just keeping your chest. All it is to keep your chest up so you don't collapse forward. You still have to do all the work. I'm not lifting you up. If I have to lift you up, it's too heavy.
It gives them that belief.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've got this.
And all you need to do is just move in the plane and the direction you need to. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. But that's what the safety spotters are for.
I was watching a video of a guy spotting me today. A heavy squat that I'd done.
Where did he hold you? On your waist?
So he didn't hold me. It was the worst squat I've ever seen. Yeah. So I've gone down. I've gone like about 140 degrees. I'm on the way back up and it's paused at 90. It was like a millisecond pause. So he stepped in, but what he's done, he's put one leg, my legs are here, he's put one leg in between my legs and he's like this. Like waiting to catch me kind of thing.
What weight did you have on your back?
It's 3 plates and another plate.
150, 160. Was it a 5 or a 10?
It went 160.
Was it a 5 or a 10?
Probably a 5.
So it was 150.
Okay.
So 150, he thinks he's lunging
Bro,
and bicep curling.
His leg was straight.
Oh, his leg was straight.
Bro, I'll show you after. His leg was straight and he's in this
So
stance like this.
So he's
And I'm like, bro, this if I fail
so
now,
he's single leg lunging.
break your...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what was he doing with his hands?
He weren't even touching me. His hands were there to touch me.
So do we
if he needed to.
need to put a how to
Yes.
how to spot
100%.
safely class?
And this was a severely experienced personal trainer that done this.
Oh, it's a PT.
Yeah.
We'll talk after. We won't name and
Knows
shame.
everything.
We won't name and shame. I want to hear who it is.
I
But
was gonna say the ego lifting. Them guys was squatting over there. I was hip thrusting there. I was doing all my reps how I.
was this on Wednesday?
Yesterday.
You was hip thrusting on yesterday as well.
When did you come in there? Wednesday.
Wednesday, because I was teaching my class. You was hip thrusting over there.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Wednesday, not yesterday. So I'm hip thrusting there. I'm doing every rep. Thrust, hold, release. Thrust, hold, release. Man's looking at me. He's like,
Is it the
yeah,
same
move
guy?
the weight on.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah.
The same guy that's always watching you.
No.
And he's close by where you're training. He's close by where you're training.
But them man, they can't. All of them with the squat, they can't hold the weight. Their back can't hold the weight, so you can't squat it. You might as well just leg press and squat lighter weights because your
And go
legs can press it.
deeper in the leg press.
Yeah, your legs can press, but your back can't.
Your core can't even hold it.
Oh. If the weight is folding you, you can't squat it. Bro, you'll slip a disc squatting. You know how mad that is? You can't slip a disc squatting, bro. Oh my god. He's told me to leave all my weights on my bar to come and then lift it after me. That's all ego.
But
He's seen what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it's me doing it, and I'm smaller than him. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to lift that, show him that I can squat, and then I can lift what you're lifting.
But what was the lift he was trying to do?
He wants to now hip thrust, because I'm hip thrusting, when he's done.
So he's gone straight off of squats
Yeah,
to go straight into whatever you're doing in terms of weight-wise,
Yeah, whatever weight
which
was.
I remember you was doing 2 blues, 1 red.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's that's 150.
150.
2 blues, 1 red is 100. Yeah, it's 150. So, and that was the last point I saw you when I taught my class. So he's going in cold doing 150.
Yeah, he told me don't take nothing off. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because I know whom the group you're talking about is all ego. Is all ego, and they all, and I don't want to talk about them. I don't really care about them, to be fair. But they lift as a group terribly.
Yeah.
The range of motion is awful. You're better off stripping the bar right back and getting some real good depth in your squats. These twerking squats are terrible. Just flicking of your hip out and then back in is not a squat. You need to be getting good depth, like good range of motion on all your lifts, but all they're doing is going for ego. This is why their bodies don't change, because they all look the same build.
And they tell us it's genetic.
And then but the thing is, I've been in said place for over 6 months. They all look the same. Not one of them's changed. For the amount that they train, for the amount that they're meant to lift, and there's no progression on the lift either. There's no, because they've been doing the same lifts. Yeah, they've just been doing the same lifts, but they've just been doing the same lifts the whole time. There's no structure. We're doing legs, so we're doing squats, and we're doing deadlifts, and we're crashing the weights down. Yeah, there's your ego. The crashing the weights thing is ego. I don't care what anyone says. Unless you're lifting 2.5 times your body weight in whatever you're doing, because your grip's going to start screaming at you, cool. If it's not, I don't want to hear anything crashing down.
But you know what's counterproductive? It's backwards. My ego, honestly, makes me not crash the weight.
Yeah, because I'm in control.
Some weights I'll crash, like a deadlift I will crash, because I don't want to lower it. I can lower it though, I don't want to, because I feel like I've put all my energy into lifting it. If I then try to lower it, I might not have what it takes to lower it, so it's a risk of injury.
Yeah.
It's more risk of injury to me, so I'll drop it at that point. But normal like weights, cable machines, I try to just put back. That shows that I'm strong enough to finish the rep.
People that crash cable machines, oh my God. It's on a cable, it's attached, return it slowly. Where do you get the joy in just skying it and then it just breaks?
But I think you're right. It must be, if the weight slams back, it shows everyone in the gym I'm lifting something so heavy that it has to.
But it's not heavy, because I look at it, because sometimes when I hear it, I'm like, nah, I got to see this man. He must be lifting. It must be a full stack. It has to be a full stack. Man's flying 10 kg, and it's boom.
It's like it's culture.
Yeah, like it's not a gym. And I always say to new members, the more silent it is, the better your lift was.
Yeah, 100%.
If I don't hear anything, like deadlifts, so a trap bar deadlift, because you've got to kind of lift it before you lift it off the ground, because the way the bar is, you take like the load up, and then when you go down, if you touch slowly, you'll get a slight cling, but a slight cling because of the way the bars is. It's not like the same like the other bar, but with the other bar, the straight bar, that should be silent. It shouldn't be dosh, unless you're a power lifter, and you require the force from the bounce to continue, cool. If you're not, it's called a dead lift. The weight should be dead, i.e. on the ground, dead. It's as simple as that.
But then, if you ain't got a grip, then sometimes
you're a chalk man, isn't it?
you might have to do what it takes to get it up.
I get it. I get the ego lifting. I get that some people require it. I'm not one of them people. I don't agree with it. I'm too old in the industry to validate that stuff. If you're new, it's still not an excuse, because you should have known to be told better. Bearing in mind the information that we have now versus coming up is way different. The access to things. If you didn't do the course, you didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you was in a bodybuilding gym and you learned from other bodybuilders, and that was really it. Other than that, you knew nothing. You knew bench press, you knew tricep press down. You barely knew squat. You didn't know the mechanics of a squat.
Yeah,
no one was
detailed.
Yeah. So, but now you can go on YouTube, type in Guyz podcast, and one of our fitness tips is how to squat. Quick plug. But the access to things is there, so I can't co-sign any of that behaviour now.
Do you know? Okay, agreed. Do you know what? I just had an idea. I think we should do an ego lifting video.
I'm good.
Because obviously we're advanced lifters, so we can ego lift safely.
I'm good, because I know I'm going to hurt myself.
Because you don't trust yourself to do that.
We do that normally? If I'm ego lifting, yeah. But what's ego? That's, again, it goes down to the competitive side of things.
Yeah, okay. So we
film us doing one exercise from each muscle group, and then we just keep pushing until.
Yeah.
All right.
So we push each other to try. We're trying to hit PBs for now. Like whatever.
But then we've got
strength is
to state a number at the beginning, and then see if your ego, if you pass it, if your ego carries you through it. That's the only.
Obviously, we should have different numbers
Because what?
different sizes.
Yeah, his arms are
We
way
lift
bigger than
different
mine.
amounts of weights.
His arms are bigger than mine. My legs are bigger than his.
Legs release a lot of testosterone, which help human growth hormone, which help build muscle.
Okay.
So some guys got more muscle to lift more weights.
Okay, so wasn't in one of the previous episodes the talk about your testosterone?
Oh, I see.
I'm not going to mention it, but I just said, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I see. Well, okay, put it this way then. All right. We can't pick the same number, bro.
I never said we had to pick the same number, but
okay, cool.
But you're on certain lifts, you're beating me on.
I can only think of maybe one.
Which is what?
After hearing your stats.
Which is what?
No, I'm not.
Which is what?
The bench, but then your stats are higher than my current stats. Your current stats are higher than my current stats, so I'd have to work to build up to that.
I think.
But I will do it.
Here's ego for you, or is it competitiveness, or is it self-belief? I think overall, across the board, compounds, across all of the compounds, I'm top 5 strongest in this gym.
Members and staff?
Members and staff. Including form, not ego lifting.
Not ego lifting.
Top 5. Before you answer, is that ego, or is that competitive, or is that self-belief, or is it a mixture?
I think it's a mixture because you could have, obviously you're training and you're observing, that's number one. Number two, you've probably highlighted the people you think are strong, and you've just seen, you've made an assessment of what they do, innit? And thought, yeah, I'm better.
I know, but when I say...
you might believe in yourself as well enough to know that even if you've seen someone do a bigger lift, you probably believe you can still lift more, just work towards it if you're not currently able to.
So yes, but if they lift more than me on one thing, I'm saying across the board. So that every compound. Yeah, so leg, squat, deadlift, military press, bench press. If you really want to chuck in a bent over row, if you want to chuck in a back exercise other than deadlift, cool. And I'd say clean as well.
Okay. Weighted pull up?
Yeah, weighted pull up. I can do 20 kg at 98 kg, wherever I am. I'm just saying. So, but then again, this is the other thing with that, and we can touch on it another day. But just saying, as you said it, if you're 78 kilograms and I'm 98, where does it become fair?
See, it's a confusing one because obviously weight matters in like every sport. Like you can't put a heavyweight against a lightweight; it's not fair. But all the websites and stuff out there that tell you what the pound for pound rankings are different. Right? So it's like who chooses what means what and how much you should be lifting to be strong for this weight versus this website. It's hard to tell. We'd have to come up with our own.
I personally just think if you go for a run. So we do a 10k run. We go at our weight. Then you go for another 10k run on another day, and you put on a vest that's at my weight, and see what the difference is in time.
Your weight with my body though, with my muscles. Your muscles are conditioned to your weight. My muscles are conditioned to my weight.
Then I'll give you 3 weeks.
If I then if I wear a suit to be next man's weight, my muscles don't change when I put the suit on.
Yeah, they'll adapt.
Not in that session.
Not in that session, but give yourself a period of time.
A long period of time.
However long you need, do you think you will match it? Or better your original time?
When I take the weight off?
No, when you put the weight on.
I think training with the weight, I'll do a better time than my weight.
Yeah, 100% you will.
Yeah.
100% you will. But that's what I'm saying. So
Over time,
the
I probably
variable,
would, yeah.
the variable is too broad. So your ego lift would be my base lift.
In what?
Whatever you want.
That's not true.
Whatever you want. Right,
That's
what's your
not
squat?
ego.
What's your squat ego lift?
The ego squat lift. Right now. If I was ego lifting.
Just answer the question. 4 plates.
I'd 140. I would have 4 plates.
4 plates. You wouldn't want 180.
You would 4 plates.
You wouldn't want 180.
Brother.
You just said you did 150 on the squat when you said I had 320s.
150.
You said
not
320s. You said
You
320s.
said 180.
You said you had 320s and a 5 on the side.
Yeah.
That's 150. So why would your ego lift now be any less?
Because that was when I was training legs. I just started training legs now after like 4 or 5 years. It's going to take me a bit.
Don't neglect legs, kids.
See, this is smart. This is smart. If I didn't really have an ego, a real one, I would attempt a lift I've done before. But I know I can't lift it.
So what's your bench ego lift?
Goodness sakes.
Oh, the
Bench
playback.
ego lift. Bro, to be honest, that day, I lifted.
What, 120?
Yeah, I'd probably go 130.
Okay. I'll beat you at that. As I said, that's my base lift. Military press, seated.
I don't know. See, he's done a strength program, so he's tested himself.
Which you
out
can get
in
on my
areas.
website, www.coachbyrory.co.uk.
There you go. But he's now got to see what level he's at currently, so he can make a what they call it, educated judgment on what his one record is.
So,
I've done no idea what I can lift in every compound. No idea.
so on that, I had this conversation today. So me and my friend was training, hypertrophy training, same time. But he doesn't know what his max lifts are. So in my head, I was like, you know what? Everybody, before doing hypertrophy, should do at least 4 weeks of strength training. Then you know what your upper limits are. So when you're training in your hypertrophy, you're not wasting time with all them kind of building up sets till you get to your optimum set to work through. Because you don't, right, so we was doing, when did this conversation come? We was doing triceps, press downs. I think we started at 30. Well, I started at 30. He tried to start at 30. He's your weight as well. He tried to start at 30 and he got to like 6. And I said, don't do what I'm doing. But you would know what you should be doing if you had done the background stuff. Because I believe when you're, because my goal originally wasn't strength. It was always hypertrophy. Oh. But I knew I had to do strength to understand what my real lifts were with structure, not just on a whim. Because maths is great, but maths doesn't get you through those lifts. I could physically just sit here and work out what my lift should be over the next 11 weeks based on what I do number-wise. But come week 11, it might not necessarily be the case. It might be way less. So I just believe you should always have a base, a relative, as in that moment, i.e. within 3 months of what your lifts are. So I believe you should do 1 max testing at least twice a year. So every 6 months you just go back to see where you are, and at least that way you know, these are my upper limits. Then you can imagine, right, you do your training, whatever you do, and your lifts increase. But you never do 1 rep max testing. You never know what you're actually capable of achieving at any time when you know you've got to do it. So I do 1 rep testing across the week. Because doing 1 rep max testing of all your lifts in the same day, stupid. Very. Yeah. You're depleting, your energy systems are depleted from your first lift. Doesn't matter if you do squats to bench, it doesn't matter.
This debate, this leads to a whole nother debate about, I half agree and half disagree.
With what part? The 1 rep max testing or the strength, doing the strength part before you do the hypertrophy jump?
Doing the strength to make sure you get the best out of your hypertrophy. Because I think, so the bit I agree with all of it, but it's a 50-50.
So
I
the
agree with
reason-
all of it, but it's 50-50.
Yeah, so I don't agree with half of the statement. I agree with the whole statement, but I'm split. If that makes sense.
No.
No, because I could be like, yeah, you should do strength training, but
I agree with some of it, and this is the part I don't agree with. That's what he's meant to say.
that's what I meant to say. So I agree that doing a strength training will give you like a gauge and, you know, help you formulate how much you should be lifting for your hypertrophy. I agree with that part.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way I lift for strength is different to the way I lift for hypertrophy. The way I lift for strength is I approach the lift differently. So if I'm doing a strength squat, I'm thinking of, okay, core engagement, breathing, moving the weight safely, like different stuff. If I'm doing it for hypertrophy, I'm trying to grow something, which is probably going to be my legs. So I'm thinking of knee extension, glutes, I'm thinking of different stuff. So I'm basically lifting different in both.
In the nicest possible way, you said the same thing. You just said body parts. So you went from I'm thinking about this, that, and that to when I do hypertrophy, I'm just thinking about knee, glutes, yeah. But you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about the weight safely being moved
But
from A to B with all of my muscles.
But you're still thinking about the muscle that you're working. No matter if you're doing bench press, you're not thinking about your legs. You're thinking about shoulders, triceps, chest.
Yes. If I'm lifting a heavy bench press, I'm thinking of all those muscles.
They're a second thought. They're an afterthought, is what you're saying. Because you still have to think about it. Because you're like, I was just about to do it again. You're like, oh man, it's on my. Cause the thing is, we have to do this because you know why? When this gets uploaded, it says, "Is it made for kids?" And I gotta say no every time. That's why I was like, oh man. So when I'm let's say I'm doing something heavy, 1 rep maxing. I'm not even worried. Just say a double, bench press, double. If I'm pressing, I am thinking number, like what the weight is. Like this is going to be heavy. But I'm also thinking, can my chest do this? Can my triceps support this? Can my shoulders support this? But because the lift is so short, you don't have that much time to think about the muscle. But when the hypertrophy lift is longer, you have way more time to think about everything. Because it's pretty much double the amount of reps, pretty much.
That's true. But then are you not thinking about it from the start, every single rep?
Not every time. Because I'm also still thinking about, is this weight
probably heavy,
adequate?
Heavy.
It's not heavy. What I did today wasn't heavy. I did 44 today, dumbbell press, and 16 lateral raises. It's not heavy, but it's still a weight. But I can get 12 reps out. But it's just more, all right, the first few reps is, can I do this? Because it's still a weight. Can I do this? Okay, cool. Squeeze every rep out, lock out, twist. It's still the mechanics of the movements are still being fought because after every rep on a dumbbell, it's not there, it's twist. Because when you twist, your chest is fully engaged now, locked out, and then you come back. But you still have to say twist. You're not thinking about chest. Because your wrist is what twists to make your chest. Your chest doesn't twist. So there's a lot, because you have a lot more time. You
can engage a lot more.
Yeah, because when you're doing strength, it's normally a power-based movement. It's up, down, up, down, up. So that guy that was benching next to me, he wasn't doing strength. Or if he was doing a very high number. Yeah, he was doing endurance strength, whatever he was doing. But that is what it is. But
with my bench, I just struggle. My strength rep would be a struggle rep where all my muscles are engaged, and I'll lift it safely. It will look good. It will look nice. It will go up, probably slowly up, slowly down. My hypertrophy bench press, I'm benching completely different. Like, I'm on the way down, I'm stretching my chest. On the way up, I'm squeezing my chest. Only that's my whole focus. If I'm doing it for chest, to build chest, all my focus is chest. In the strength, my focus is shoulders, chest, back, triceps.
all right, so if you're doing hypertrophy,
I'm not doing bench press for triceps or shoulders.
But if you're doing the way I bench, I'm getting triceps hit and I'm getting front delt because of the bar I use. I don't use the generic straight bar. I'm using the Watson bar. Okay. So the angle of it, as soon as I lock out, triceps are engaged. So as much as you can sit there and say, I'm thinking about my chest, at some point when your tricep fatigues, you're now, because you're a tricep man.
No, because my chest will die first. Because I'm thinking about chest, so it always dies first. As I'm going the bar down, as I'm lowering the bar, I'm bending it around my body. As I'm raising it, I'm squeezing my hands together.
Okay.
So my chest is squeezing.
This is why you're using that bar and I'm using this bar. That's the difference here.
Yeah,
so the conversation is null and void.
And then no, I'll do that with that one as well. Same thing, yeah, same thing.
But your triceps will be more engaged there.
True.
That's that. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Until you do a full, like, I know you've been using it now and then, but when you do a full chest workout on it, I'd say do a full chest workout and then do it that way.
I'll probably do triceps with that bar.
Yeah, you're a tricep man.
For triceps.
Well, I would say at the end of the day, don't ego lift, guys. It's not good for you.
And I'd say ego lift if you're experienced. Because then if you hurt yourself, then that's on you and nobody cares.
All right, fitness tip of the week. What you got for us before we cut out?
Let's say when strength training is a good tip to help me build up with loads of warm-up sets before you hit your working weight. And when I say that, I mean loads. For example, if you're deadlifting, I would recommend not to go from bar to 60 to 120 to 118 to. I would recommend to go from bar to 100 in maybe 5-6 sets. I would recommend. For me, I think that prepares your muscles better to lift the heavier weight.
What's my fitness tip of the week?
Yeah.
Don't ego lift. Peace out.